This winter has felt unusually long and cold. I am in a long-distance relationship from Germany to Mexico, and after my significant other, who had visited me for 3 months, returned to Mexico in the fall, I often felt alone, if not lonely. I have lived through some tough months of darkness and doubts this season, trying to decide in which direction to go in my life, and if relocating to Mexico was the right prospect for me. I have always considered myself a little bit of a vagabond, a child of the earth, not especially belonging to only one place. In my 20s, I have traveled quite a bit, and I have already lived in Mexico for 8 months. But somehow that was all different, because I always knew that I would come back. And every time I came back, I could understand my relationship to Germany a bit better. And I learned how much I do cherish the country I grew up in, even though I always wanted to migrate somewhere else when I was a kid. Now I kind of have the chance to do that and live with my boyfriend, because love, oh my goodness, yes. And living in Mexico, amazing. But leaving my home, everything that I know, all the people and the places, for how long? What made the decision so difficult was my own way at looking at it. To me, it felt final, like choosing one option and rejecting the other with the risk of losing it forever. It has taken me a while to remember that the decision I am making now is not the ultimate one. That going to Mexico now doesn't have to mean that I will stay there forever. That staying here in Germany doesn't mean that I won't have the chance to change my mind and go to Mexico again. What a privilege, I know. Leaving now doesn't mean I will lose the people I love either. There will always be ways to connect. And once I made the decision to go to Mexico, everything that seemed so difficult before, all the organizational things that had looked like mountains when I pondered the decision, seemed much easier and actually worked themselves out. The heaviness of my mind lifted and the decision felt right. It was a bit like magic, and such a relief after those long months of uncertainty. Now that I'm preparing to go, packing up all of my belongings, giving things away and deciding what to take with me, I am also starting the process of saying goodbye to this place. I won't live here permanently again, at least not in this house, maybe not even in this city. This has sparked thoughts on home and belonging in me. I think that in our highly mobilized world, where traveling and moving to dream destinations, always in search for a potentially better life and the next adventure, is so normalized, we tend to overlook how much our connection to place actually matters in our lives. How much we need this boundedness to feel grounded and safe. In phenomenological research as well as indigenous cultures, people are considered inseparable from their surroundings and the land they inhabit. In a way, the place we live in can be seen as an extension of ourselves, a way to build our identity by taking care of it, decorating it, and knowing the ins and outs of other life living alongside us. May that be in the form of other people, animals, or plants. I have lived here for 7 years. I always knew it would be temporary, but 7 years still is quite a long time. This place has become my home and a part of me. I have built, created, and grown a lot of things here, including myself. My room has become a space of relaxation, movement, work, self-care, and creativity. Most recently, I painted this oil painting and made a video about it. If you haven't seen it yet, check it out. I'll link it down below. I have shared this space with many different people and animals. I am really going to miss Lily, our neighbor's cat, who visited almost daily. I have also cooked countless meals in this kitchen and spent summer days in the garden. I'm going to miss the changing colors of the seasons. I love walking along this river on my daily walk, see it rise and fall with the floods from snow melting in the spring, rain and drought, and know what flowers there will be in the summer. When I get tired of the monotony of the same walk every day, there are so many other paths I can choose. There is a cemetery nearby where rabbits can be seen at dawn in the summer, and several small parks, as well as the city itself, which is nice to walk through. So yes, home is a specific place that consists of objects one is fond of or used to, the specific natural surroundings, flora, fauna, and landscape. Yet I have found that home is so much more than a place. The feeling of being home can lie in one single person you love, or a community. It can be found in a culture, its liveliness or its stillness, its comforting presence, holidays that are celebrated together, the understanding of other people that goes along with speaking the same language since birth and being familiar with the same cultural heritage. Growing up in a place, we are often not able to see how much that matters and how alienated one can feel when not being able to rely on the same knowledge about things like literature, music, jokes, and so on. That doesn't mean that it is bad not to be at home. It can be very enriching, of course. It just means that having a place we can call home is something valuable that may not be easily replaceable. If you have ever traveled for a long time, you may agree that it can become quite exhausting after a while, because it takes up a lot of energy and potentially time to be a stranger to a place. Home is a place where we are able to meet not only our basic needs, but also recreational and social needs easily. We feel safe because we know our surroundings, our neighbors, our neighborhood, and the society at large of the place where we're living. All of these are sources of comfort it may take a long time to build. In theory, we can live anywhere and create a home wherever we are. In practice, this is not only difficult because of our respective citizenships and restrictions to enter and or stay in countries, it is also not always possible to transfer the ingredients we need to feel at home and like we belong from one place to another so easily. What all the points made above have in common is connection. A connection to what surrounds us, and that connection is informed by knowing. Knowing the geography of a place, its people, the climate, and the weather, in order to feel safe, comfortable, and at ease. Connections, however, are built over time. We can carry them with us in our hearts, but we cannot uproot them in one place and replant them in another. In this light, I propose that the more we get to know a place and are able to find and build those connections, the more it will feel like home. In a sense, I already have several places I call home. Yet no place will ever feel like the city I grew up in. Nor will I be able to replace where I am living now and where most of my friends live, or recreate the Mexican culture that I have come to love so much in Germany. At the end of the day, I will have to pick and choose. The bittersweet feeling that goes along with this privilege is that I will always miss someone or something from the place where I am currently not physically. A consolation for me is that I am able to walk through spaces that I know well in my memory. Just like loved people who are not in my life anymore for one reason or another, these places will always be in my memory and my heart. And although I cannot take Germany to Mexico or Mexico to Germany, I can keep the memory of the respective culture alive and honor it by sharing my knowledge about it and creating small rituals to make it come alive. With patience and intention, I know I will be able to find those little anchors that keep me grounded and let my roots grow again over time. So when this cold and dark winter draws to a close, I will be leaving this place and move to sunnier prospects. Even though I am sad to leave, I am so excited to arrive in Mexico again. If you are interested in my journey, you are welcome to follow along by subscribing to my channel. If you give this video a like and share it with your friends, that would mean the world to me and help me out a lot. Thank you so much for watching.